And on a personal level, it was a crazy season for you. We were just talking about becoming a father midway through a pandemic, midway through a baseball season. I know you were actually, in Dallas on that road trip when you got the phone call?
Yeah, we were in Dallas. We were on a week trip to Texas, and then we were going to Seattle like at the end of that trip. So I was like praying, hoping that it happened in Texas. There's an easier flight.
Right.
So it did. It happened in Texas, and I ended up obviously staying a little longer than anticipated just because of some things that popped up, and it didn't go as as planned. But ultimately, I missed the lockdown in Houston, which could have, those 5 days could have put me at jeopardy of missing, his birth had it gone a little later. So yeah, we were in Dallas, got the call, and ended up being the perfect timing, perfect everything, and it worked out exactly how it was supposed to. So,
can you describe the rush of adrenaline that maybe you had when you were boarding a flight to go back home? Like, the inevitable, it's about to happen, and for the first time, you kind of can't believe it. I know me personally, that's a feeling and a drive that I will never forget.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I got nervous, getting driven up to the Uber, getting in the Uber. And then all the while I'm thinking about I have to be as safe as possible.
Right.
I'm in the Uber, I'm about to go through an airport, about to get in a plane in the middle of a pandemic to go to a hospital to see my child be born. Granted, we've been tested and, every single day basically.
Sure.
And, they gave me all the gear I needed as far as the face mask and the hand sanitizer and the Clorox wipes. And so all the while I'm focusing on making sure she's good and making sure I have Wi-Fi on the plane just in case any more updates. I'm trying to make sure I'm not taking my mask off on the plane at all. And it was exhausting. I got home and I was like, so are we ready? We're going to the hospital. And she was like, I want to try to make it through the night. And we made it through the night and ended up being a couple more days, honestly. But anyways, it was definitely a different rush. I've never felt something like that. It was just kind of like a numbing, I didn't know how to react type of situation.
It's a good thing you weren't the one giving birth. Sounds like you were a little bit worked up and stressed out.
I was a little flustered. And that's honestly, that's kind of the dynamic of our relationship.
Yeah.
She's kind of the solid, the rock one that kind of keeps things cool and collected. So it worked out perfect. And, she was a trooper the whole time. And, obviously to go through the last couple of months of pregnancy, alone, basically, her mom was there for the last couple of weeks, and which was a blessing. But, and then having to spend a month or so, month and a half, with the newborn without me there. That just speaks to the strength that a lot of these baseball wives have, and women in general. So it was pretty impressive.
Hey, so last dad question here for you. You're almost 4 months in. I'm wondering what already you've learned about the process, and as part of that, what you've learned about yourself. Maybe you already see changes less than 4 months in.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned to go with the flow a little bit more.
Yeah.
Everything's not going to be as planned. You can't plan everything. It's not always going to be perfect, and to have patience, and that I don't need 10 hours of sleep a night to function. So,
10 hours?
Dude, I'm a sleeper, man. During the season, I'm getting up at 11:30 noon. That's my normal, not 3:30 in the morning and staying up through the rest of the morning. So that's the adjustment. I'm working on it. But it's been such a rewarding 4 months already. So
yeah, well, you'll get your 10 hours back. I want to predict in the year 2028.
Yeah, it sounds good.